So it's been a while since I've done a video, and that's because we've moved. We moved from Texas to Maine. It's been a few months, starting to get settled in, and working at a new school. And I started a RC racing club for the elementary school kids. And we're going to run M-Class because M-Class tracks are a little smaller. We're going to be doing this inside the gymnasium, trying to keep costs down. It's probably the least expensive of the Tamiya cars to build up a car on. So that's what we're going with. And went ahead and got one of the NSU TT Jagermeisters special edition, so I thought I would do a unboxing of that. So one of the things is that it does come with the TBLE O2S, which is what we're going to be using for racing, but an optional speed control that we're going to use is the Hobby Wing 1060, which I think is a superior speed control. So I did pull the speed control out of this in favor for this. But to show you what comes in the box, like all Tamiya cars, on the side of the box it has a picture of the chassis with it all put together and some identification labels, 3 different wheelbases, all of the key points here, and then on the back side, also in typical Tamiya fashion, parts that are required separately. So for the racing club, I'm going to be recommending this Fly Sky GT2B. You can pick them up on Amazon for just right around 30 bucks, just a little bit under 30 bucks. Comes with a receiver as well as a transmitter, and this one also comes with a rechargeable lithium battery. It's probably the best, cheap, most economical transmitter receiver on the market right now. Also needs a battery, of course, and a steering servo and a charger. So with the servos, what we're going to go with for the servos are the Hi-Tech HS 422 Deluxe. I'd considered going with Futaba S3003, but this is a little bit faster, a little bit torquier, and actually a little bit cheaper. And Hi-Tech's a fantastic brand, so this is the servo that we're going to go with. Upgraded parts. We're going to try to run these as close to stock as possible. So one option will be the speed control. They could swap out the stock for the Hobby Wing if they'd like. We're going to go ahead and run the silver can motors. One option will be to upgrade to ball bearings if they choose. But other than that, we're going to try to run it as stock as possible to keep the cost down. So inside the kit, we'll go ahead and open that up. Of course, you got all your part sprues. So here's an F-part sprue. It comes with at least the TT, NSU TT comes with these wheels. They look kind of like old DBS style wheels. And then it does come with sets of M-Class slicks. Of course, the NSU TT body. Naturally, it needs a trim. I think it's kind of interesting that it has the trunk partially open to act as a downforce spoiler. That's kind of interesting. To me, this looks a lot like an old BMW 2002. That's why I picked it up. I thought it was a really interesting looking body. I'm going to do a different video on doing up the body. It does come with foams. Tire foams comes with that, so that's good to know. I didn't know that. Let's see here. What else have we got? Which part sprue is this? There's the B part sprue with your motor mount and some other stuff on there, your hexes. Looks like steering arms and whatnot. And then here are a couple of C part sprues. Look like you get 2 of them. These are for the, I don't want to call them shocks. I guess they're shock springs. Shocks, yeah, not dampeners, they're shocks. Body mounts. So there's 2 of those to build up 4 shocks. And then the D part sprue here. Nice that it's all in black, unlike the old M-05 that has some red part sprues, which I thought was really goofy. Here's the A part sprue. This is the chassis. Got a correction addendum here to the manual. And then this here is an H part sprue. Looks like we've got rear view mirrors. Of course, all of your hardware bags, the bushings, screws, JIS screws of course, servo saver, gear, some Tamiya grease, a 4-way wrench, silver can motor. Naturally we've got the chassis build-up instruction manual. And we've got instructions for the NSU TT Jagermeister. It does need 2 different types of paint. So there's a tiny bit of black trim across the front, and then the rest calls for PS62 orange. So PS5 on the front here, and then PS62 orange for the rest. Of course, we're going to let the kids paint it whatever color they want, and we're going to supply them with 1 can of paint. This tiny little bit of black here on the front, that doesn't need to be blacked out. But much easier just to do a single can, 1 color wonder paint job. And then antenna mast, which probably won't need with that receiver. And then the Jgermeister stickers, which I'm not sure I'm keen on having them apply Jgermeister stickers considering it's an elementary school, but we'll see what the parents decide to do, because we're going to let the parents and the kids trim and paint the body on their own before coming to the chassis build session. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there, throw this in there, put the body on top. Now, I'm going to extend this walkthrough. I'm going to go ahead and do an unboxing of this that I got for myself. So this is the M-05 Ver.II R chassis. Okay, so just like on the other kit, all the Tamiyas are the same. It runs with this one here doesn't have a photograph of the chassis. It has a line drawing, which is kind of neat looking. This one comes with hex screws already, comes with bearings, the TRF damper kit, which is really nice. TRF dampers are the best in the market, I think. It also comes with double carbon drive shafts, which is also fantastic. It includes an aluminum motor mount. So this thing comes with a lot of really great upgrades. Aluminum battery mount, all that kind of stuff. So as you can see, this has still got the plastic on it, so I haven't opened this up yet. Here on the back side, yeah, it just talks about the parts. Also, the metal parts and stuff are dark colored resin and anodized metal. They add to the racy mood. Isn't that nice? They add to the racy mood. And then here on the back, featured parts. We already talked about those, but all of these things here, aluminum motor mount, aluminum steering posts, aluminum steering turnbuckles, aluminum servo mount, ball bearing set, low friction kingpins, M chassis reinforced gear set, hollow drive shafts. This thing is serious. This has got every hop up that I probably would have done to the standard kit. It just came with. So I don't know. I'm getting to the point now where I mostly really kind of lean towards the MS and R series kits from Tamiya, and the basic kits just don't cut it for me. But that's just me. I have a tendency to hop my stuff up like crazy, so I like what it comes with. So here we go. Slightly different tire than what comes with the TT NSU TT, whichever way that goes. These kind of look like BBS rims. That's kind of nice. Then we've got, again, the shock dampers, which I'm not sure how much of that we're going to use because of the TRF dampers. Then we've got the same sprue here from the other kit. These are your, which sprue? Where's it at? Where's the letter? F sprue. And then, again, some of this stuff we won't use because of the aluminum pop-ups. So here's another B sprue, just like in the other kit. Here's a D sprue. And here's the chassis. A kit, A sprue. L sprue with the arms, suspension arms, and I don't know. This is FRP plastic, it looks like. It's hard to tell through the plastic bag, but it looks like it's FRP, not the regular plastic. So here's all the kits, and you can see inside we've got the TRF short dampers. Super, super nice. That's worth some bucks right there, just that bag by itself. We've got the black reinforced gears rather than the white nylon from the other kit. We got the servo saver here. As you can see, more of the upgrade parts here in the A bag with the ball bearings. Black aluminum motor mount. We've got the turnbuckles. Those are all black too. Man, this is going to be a fun build. Let's see what else we've got here. The B bag. All these nice hex head screws. No more JIS screws out of the standard kit. That's super, super nice. And then, of course, we've got the Ver.II R series manual. And we've got our antenna tube, which is black. I can dig it out of here. Okay. Trust me, it's black. So there's all that. Now, when I build this up, I'm going to go ahead and use a hard fluorine coated 20-tooth Mod 6 pinion. That's part number 53509. I also got an 18-tooth, which I'm probably going to use for my son's car. There's that. Yeah, here's the 18-tooth Mod 6 18-tooth pinion, 54,769. And then the body that I'm going to use for mine is Honda S800. I really like the looks of this. I got it off of eBay. It came from Japan. It took like 6 weeks, 8 weeks to get here. Unfortunately, when it arrived, the box was completely smushed and soaking wet. Luckily, the eBay seller took care of me and he gave me a bit of a refund. Luckily, it doesn't look like much damage, other than the fact that the box that the body came in was completely destroyed inside the box that was shipped in. It was just completely soaking wet. Luckily, these dried out. They're a little curly now because of the moisture, but this is what we're going to be using for my car, which I'm going to use as a pace car. We're not going to race this with the kiddos. This takes a PS6 yellow paint, and it only requires the one color, which is kind of nice. So this will be the body that I'm going to be doing up for the racing. At any rate, came with some chrome accessory H screws, some screws and some cotter pins and some washers. In here are the window masks and decal stickers, which, unlike some of my rally cars, that this doesn't have nearly the number of stickers that those had on it, which I'm super happy about because it took me forever to decal up those rally cars. So this is a little bit nicer. And then this is what the body looks like. So I'll hold it next to the, here's the NSU next to the Honda. So you can see how much sexier this Honda looks. This reminds me a lot of a Volvo P1600, and this reminds me of a BMW. But needless to say, I think they're going to be super fun to drive. It's going to have a blast building them up with the kiddos. And I'll go ahead and do a build series on this, just like I've done with some of the other cars that I've done. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. If you got any questions, go ahead and post them, and I'll answer them as best as I can.